Hello everybody, just a bit of an update on my SR1 Moletta Lionsteel in D2. Awesome knife. There's not much I can say negative about this knife. I really like it, I'm really enjoying it. Two things that I don't necessarily like about it. The one is not a huge deal, but it would have to be the handle. The handle is much too boxy. As an EDC, it's great. And I apologize if I'm shouting into the camera here. It's my phone, so audio gets a little tricky. But it's a great as an EDC knife. You're not going to have any problems at all. If you want to take it out into the bush, I don't know if I'd say there are bush folders. Nothing I've come across, not to say there aren't any. This one, I would say, qualifies as a bush folder, as a woods knife, if you're wearing gloves or you don't mind your hands getting all beat to hell. Because it is a little sharp, so to speak. If you took the pocket clip off, it'd be a vast improvement. But it's just it's in this section of the knife here, the edges, and just the holes here. It all comes together to make it slightly uncomfortable for putting any kind of pressure for any period of time in the knife. However, like I said, a pair of gloves, that disappears. Light gloves even, that no longer becomes an issue. So still usable. And the other problem, which is a problem for me, is the factory edge that comes in. Now, it's essentially a convex knife. It has this, sort of, it has this sort of high saber grind, I guess you'd call it. But I mean, the blade shape is convex, and it had comes with a secondary convex edge, which makes it, in my opinion, completely useless for processing wood in any way, shape, or form. Great for everything else, it would do well for skinning, any kind of slicing task, like I said, in an EDC sense of it, would do just fine. However, I introduced it to Mr. Lansky, and I have to say, and a quick shout out to Mr. Spartan Johns, who turned me on to the Lansky, as far as for reprofiling edges. It's not something I would have ever done or maybe even had the confidence to do before. A little bit of encouragement and checking out some of his videos, though, made it a pleasure to do, and I'm kind of hooked on it now. I almost would go so far as to say I'm sorry that I don't really have too many more knives that need reprofiling, because there's a real sense of satisfaction that comes with that. So this is what happened. I reprofiled it. It came, and geez, I'm already forgetting, with at least a 25 degree, I think it was actually closer to 30 degree edge angle on this secondary bevel. And I dropped it down to a 20, if I can get that in close enough for the camera to focus. There we go. I dropped that down to a 20. The width, excuse me if I get myself in the frame here. The width of the edge is twice what it was with the convex. Just due to the way the Lansky works. And right now it's a slicer. It processes wood like no one's business. It does a really good job of slicing through wood. I'm only sorry I didn't do a wood processing video so that you can see a real comparison. But for you guys who have it, or have had your hands on it, you're going to understand what I mean if you try to process wood with it. It just doesn't bite. You'd get trying to take chunks of the wood and you'd get that, you'd get slivers. Whereas now, it's taking big chunks. It does a far better job with a 20 degree edge, 20 degree per side, just to clarify, than it did with its factory edge. It's razor sharp. With the Lansky, that's the great thing about it, is you can get a knife, just doesn't shave hair. If you do it right with the Lansky, and it's really not hard for anyone who has, if there's any hesitation about using it, it's a really easy tool to use. And I'm telling you, the hair was running away from the edge when I had this done and put a little strop on it. I mean, the hair was popping off the head of this blade, running away scared. It really does a great job. And like I said, now it processes wood, no problem. And another thing, as I've already said, if you are concerned about the grip as I was, or as I am, just throw a light glove. I just keep a pair of mechanic gloves. You know, pick them up for 20 bucks at any place that sells them. And that just totally gets rid of the problem. Now it's a comfort to wear. You can still feel the edges a little bit through a light glove, but you know, it's something you can work with. And I mean, you know, I wouldn't bill this again as an outdoor knife. It's an EDC knife. However, it's now capable of doing wood processing. I wouldn't baton with it, but if you're looking to carve out some tent pegs, if you're looking to, you know, whittle, just carve period, you know, anything light task like that, this knife is very capable of doing. Now this is just cedar, nice dry cedar, so it's not having too hard a problem with it. I tried it on a piece of maple at home and did a great job as well. So anyone who has it and is not overly happy with the edge angle on it, how it performs, get a Lansky if you don't have one. If you do, and I would recommend the diamond. I have not used the regular stone, although some of the people that I know who have it in regular want to get the diamond. And I mean, why not just go with a slightly better, a better quality stone? It's roughly, and this is coming out of Canada, Canadian prices, it's about 30 bucks, and we're pretty much on par with the US for our dollar. So you US guys, about 30 bucks, you know. Bass Pro Shops is actually where I got my diamond set, and I think it was $59.99 on their website. Again, that's Canadian, but buck or two off for US guys. But anyways, yeah, so there it is, much better performance. Really a phenomenal knife, even as it comes from the factory. I would have to say the best EDC blade that I can imagine. I'm sure there's maybe some more comfortable handles out there, perhaps, but this is really a beautiful blade. You would never regret getting this, and you would absolutely be overjoyed once you reprofile it. And then it will perform absolutely any task you want. So before I get to babbling and rambling on and repeating myself, SR1, phenomenal blade, roto lock, love the roto lock with the frame lock, I have to say. It's got a great frame lock, really does. It's a great blade shape, it's a great blade size. This is in D2 with the aluminum. You can get the titanium handle. The aluminum's great though, haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. This knife was a gift from a very good friend, and it is awesome. Again, SR1 folks, go out and get one, you'll be happy. Reprofile it, you'll be even happier. Hope you enjoyed. Be well, brothers and sisters.